All right, folks, Malkah Fleisher here. Some people in the world are still stuck on the two-state solution language. They still think that that's going to work out. So Malkah Fleisher was on a great TV show called Israel Now News with my friend Josh Reinstein, and she, being part of a women's security group, had answers to some of the issues and maybe some understandings about why some people are still stuck on what's called the two-state solution, which is nothing but a delusion, an illusion, and will not bring us any peace whatsoever. So let's check out Malkah with Josh Reinstein on Israel Now News.
Hello and welcome to Ask the Source. I'm your host, Josh Reinstein, and we're here in our beautiful studio in Jerusalem. My guest today is Malkah Fleisher. She's the co-founder of In Our Hands. Malkah, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell our viewers a little about what is In Our Hands.
B'yadayim Shelano, it's really called in Hebrew, is an organization that was started after October 7th by a group of women in Judea who realized that if we don't show that the Yishuvim, that the towns in Judea and Samaria care about their security and want things changed from the way they were done prior to October 7th, that things could easily just slide back. That you know how it is in big bureaucracies when you have, as they call, maybe you've talked about here on your show, the conceptia, like the old ways of thinking that Israel was stuck in prior to October 7th, that if we don't fight those things as residents and say that we want security in our towns, that we're no longer willing to welcome into our towns for work anyone who hates Jews or hates Israel, that we could possibly be facing a situation in which all those same people are coming back into our towns, like what was happening on the Gaza periphery. And then you have, God forbid, spying issues, terrorism issues, things that we just don't want to deal with ever again.
You've pretty much dedicated your life to defending Judea and Samaria. You live in Judea. Your husband is like the foreign minister of Hebron. And you do a lot of activities around there, also in social media. Why is Judea and Samaria such an important focus of your attention?
How could it not be? Judea and Samaria is like, that's Israel. You know, it's so funny to me that Judea and Samaria is this like controversial place when it's the most legitimate part of Israel. Every person watching your show, their mama raised them on stories of where I live. No one raised their kids on stories of the Jews of Tel Aviv. And I don't at all question the legitimacy of the Jews of Tel Aviv. But when we're talking about where is Israel, Judea and Samaria is Israel. That's like where the whole thing is going down. So, of course, I would fight the complete insane bias against Judea and Samaria and encourage Jewish people and peace-loving people to live in Judea and Samaria.
Well, the Biden administration would differ with you. They're actually going out and sanctioning people who have your view that Judea and Samaria is part of Israel. Why do you think they've decided to make such a harsh decision on this issue?
I think that there are a few issues. One of the issues is that once that the Jews understand that they have rights in Judea and Samaria, then they're less inclined to look back over their shoulder all the time at the U.S. administration and ask, is this okay? Is that okay? I think the Biden administration very much wants to keep its thumb on Israel and maintain control and try to keep Israel as a certain kind of like fiefdom or 51st state. I think they understand that when Jews live in Judea and Samaria, they feel strong and empowered, and they start to understand their organic relationship to the land of Israel. And then that threatens the two-state solution that the Biden administration feels so committed to, because it helps to perpetuate this like ongoing conflict, which is beneficial to administrations like the Biden administration. And I think overall, they're just very tied in to the liberal left narrative that Jews are occupiers and that Jews don't have rights in the Middle East. That's what I think is going on.
The two-state solution is dead. I don't think anyone in Israel is discussing it. No one's speaking about it. Yet the Biden administration seems to think that this is the only answer. And since October 7th, they talk about the two-state solution even more than before. Where's the disconnect?
That's a great question. It's discouraging to see anyone, especially a country that is ostensibly the leader of the free world, like bashing its head against a wall and refusing to open its mind to realities on the ground It's also disheartening to see that they're not willing to listen to local people. Here we are, the Jewish people, indigenous to the land of Israel, and we're speaking out loud, and we're having a reality of current events, which is showing that there's not going to be an easy way for there to be two states. It's not something that's going to work, and moreover, it is not legitimate. The Jewish people have a right to the land of Israel, that this is actually their land. These are things that the Biden administration, just like it refuses to see. I guess it has its own interests in the region that prevent it from moving forward with truth, with reality.
This isn't just the Biden administration. We're seeing this in Europe. We're seeing this from Canada. They're sanctioning people in Judea and Samaria. They're telling Jews that they have to leave Judea and Samaria, that they can't build in Judea and Samaria. Yet in Israel, it seems that Judea and Samaria is flourishing. There's over 500,000 Jews living there now. Those communities are growing. How do you see this all playing out?
The Jewish people are growing and flourishing in Judea and Samaria. It's funny, during this war, like the stigma of Judea and Samaria being this like dangerous, violent place evaporated. We were the place taking in refugees while the whole rest of the country was facing rockets and terror attacks. Judea and Samaria was, I guess, as normal as you could be during this scenario. And you would really have to shut your eyes to not see that it's a beautiful, flourishing place. There are families flourishing all up, down, and sideways in Judea and Samaria. And people want to grow their families, and there's no reason to stop them.
Malkah, there are literally tens of millions of people watching this show. What message do you have for our viewing audience?
I just want to say that this is an amazing time, and it's a time that's ripe with potential. Judea and Samaria is the ancient ancestral homeland of the Jewish people. We're very proud to be growing and developing it, and we hope to see you here soon.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed Malkah Fleisher on Israel Now News with Josh Reinstein. Check out our channel. We're putting out great stuff all the time, trying to bring out a little bit of light, a little bit of truth from the beautiful land of Israel. There it is out the window. Look how good it is. It's a goodly land. It's a blessed land. Bless you wherever you are. Stay tuned. Stay connected. Write me an email, yishai@yishaifleisher.com. And also you could donate to this effort. Support us by going to buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. Blessings and shalom.